I'm not sure for how long I'll be able to stream because I'm already noticing that my phone is getting quite hot. So that's like yeah, that's something that is kind of bothering. But we'll see what happens. All right, let me turn on my stream on my other phone. Just to see the comments and stuff. Let's see. I don't know what's going on, but YouTube seems to be having some problems because I couldn't start the stream to begin with, which is kind of a shame. Some cables here and there. Yeah, it's really not working properly. Maybe it is my internet. I hope not, but could be. Let's try again. So there's 3 people watching. Hello there, everybody, and welcome to my stream. We're gonna do some marker studies. I'm trying to like get better at drawing some more realistic drawings. So I've decided to like um, bring it down to simple things like the eye, scales, and well, this is what I started with. Then I did this sketch, and now I just did this one, and I want to do this one again, but like create a little bit more scales and make them a little smaller, and maybe I'll have a little bit more success on oh, there we go. All right, my stream is turned on. Oh, I accidentally turned off the live chat. All right, there we go. So what I'm using as my reference is this dinosaur figure, and as you can see, it has some pretty nice looking scales on it. And so I did these ones on the tail over here, but I kind of like basically what I do, I put down my own pattern that I want to have, like that I want to create, and then I just look at this and I look at how light and shadow behaves on a real object and try to implement it in my drawing. So that's what we're going to be doing here. But we're going to be making some smaller scales. So there's like a couple big ones over here. I also want to change the direction a little bit. So it's going to go down a little bit more like this. And maybe scales of this size. It's going to be a little tougher to finish this in time because I know that my camera is already starting to heat up. My phone, that is. And that might actually cause problems because I don't want to break my phone, obviously. So I might have to stop the stream if it gets a little too hot, but we'll see what happens. Let me see if you can see everything properly. Yeah, it seems like you can. So you're seeing more than what I'm seeing on my screen. All right, and now let's yeah, let's do like a couple lines going this way, this direction. And let's make them like get bigger as they get closer to us. My phone is vibrating because I'm getting messages. I have no idea how to turn that off because I know that there's like something like airplane mode, but I'm pretty sure that even with airplane mode turned on, I mean, if you have it turned on, Wi-Fi doesn't work, so that's not gonna work for the stream. All right, So now that I have like these basic lines down, I want to erase them a little bit more so that you can barely see them. Because if you're gonna go over this with a marker and you're gonna do like light covers, you will always be able to see the lines. And in order to achieve realism, I've learned from other YouTubers, um, you have to stop going by lines, because in nature you don't see lines either. So you have to stop creating those very big lines. And I'm used to creating big lines um, for my what is it called, for my comic kind of style in drawings. But yeah, I have to learn to unlearn that. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to have this very light color right here that goes between the scales, which is like a beige sort of color. So I'm gonna look at my um, color, was it color chart, whatever you call it, and I'm gonna use this color YG040. It's a yellow gray. So let me try to find that real quick. If I had better eyes, I would be able to see it better. There we go. It's over here. And I'm using marker paper now, which is something that I've never really done before. Because I like, so for example, I've always been using like the normal sketch sort of paper. But the marker bleeds through the paper and it's gonna get like very messy, and it's very hard to like make it look nice, you know, because the markers look a little less good on those kinds of papers. I didn't want to use this paper because in my opinion, oh, I forgot something, by the way. I have to create a little bit of space in between every little pocket, because we need, you know what, I can actually do that with this marker. I don't need to use my pencil for that. I'm getting a phone call. Are you kidding me? Wait, let me quickly text that person. They keep. I'm so sorry, guys. Let me quickly text them. All right, let's continue this. And just bring these little lines in between every set of skills. So what do you call it? Do you call it scales or scales? Because I'm not a native English speaker. I'm actually from the Netherlands. And yeah, like I might have a combination of different accents because I'm listening to Americans and to British people, and I'm trying to mimic their accent as good as I can. But in the process of doing that, it actually causes me to, you know, adapt different accents, and that is not always the best thing. But I don't know. Could be fine. So currently we have, I believe, one person or two people watching. And I hope that like that it's still kind of entertaining seeing me draw. Maybe I'm drawing a little too slow and I'm talking too much. But honestly, in this situation, it is like very essential that you do like pay attention to what you're doing, because um with markers, especially like with pencil, you can just erase everything, no big deal. But with a marker, if you accidentally go over something that you weren't supposed to go over, it's very hard to correct that. So now I'm just creating the shape of those scales. And so I want to create some pretty dark scales. And it will look good in contrast to these like very light lines. It's like this, but like it's like a skin sort of color that's like underneath the skills, what the skills are attached to, I guess. I'm trying to work as fast as I can because this was pretty quick, but that's because you know, like these scales are a lot bigger. It's a lot less hard to get them down and to figure out where the highlights are. Wait, let me quickly pull up the stream again so I can look at the reactions or the replies. The chat, that's the word that I was looking for. Deepic. Cool, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. Jonathan. You are a great artist. Congratulations on the great work. Thank you. Thank you a lot. Well, I mean, I'm not where I want to be by far, but I'm gradually improving. You know, like I'm trying my best to get better at things, trying to understand things a little better, because drawing is not only about getting the lines on paper, it's also about understanding how shadows work and how lighting works, how highlights work. And I'm still working on a lot of those things. I'm still working on like especially on the highlights, because I want to make my art look more realistic, but then of course I'm gonna have to pay more attention to where the highlights come from and how they work. So yeah. All right, so that's, I think I've had every little pocket. And now I want to have, basically I want to have at least 3 colors. So I want to have like the darkest color going to be at the bottom. And I want them to be kind of like diamond shaped, like these, or is this even diamond shaped? No, it's not diamond shaped, but yeah, like it's a little higher, the middle, kind of like flat and like higher up at the middle, and there's like triangles over here. So I want to recreate that kind of look. You have to pay attention to where they are positioned at, like in front of the frame. For example, like if they're going to be over here, then this triangle might actually go up like that a little bit more. But if they're over here, then it might actually look a little bit more like this because it's closer to the camera. So the perspective is different on it. So this is a little bit of a challenge, but that's exactly why I'm doing this. Let me feel how, wait, I don't think you guys are still able to see everything. I think this is a little better. I think. Wait, can you guys hear me all right? Let me check. Can you guys hear me all right? All right, yeah. That's good. All right. So I want to start with I'm not sure. So some artists, they say that you should always start with the lighter colors, and other artists say that you should always start with the darker colors. So that's a little bit of a, yeah, they're kind of contradicting each other, but I think it's like personal preference. So let's see. I definitely want to use this color, NG09 neutral gray. So let's just get everything that I need. NG09 neutral gray, and I want to use a lighter color on top of the scale. which is going to be CG207. Let me see if I can find that one. Let's see. Let me just grab the whole bag of my markers over here. CG207. I'm not sure if that's the color that I used, but I think it will work. Yeah. Let's just use that one. It's going to be a little different than this one. And we want to have the lightest color, which is going to be CG030. This one. And maybe I should have a little bit of a lighter gray over here, which should be CG070. There we go. So we have everything here. Okay, so these are the colors that we're going to be using. It's not really colors though, it's they're grays, but they're like, I don't know, like, yeah, they're like neutral grays. That's all right. So we're going to start with the lightest color, and we want the light to come from let's see, let's say the light is coming from over here, the top left. So I'm gonna just draw little like areas of the lighter color on the top left, because they're basically squares, but they go up in this kind of triangle. And I'm sorry if my camera is kind of shaky. It might actually be. All right. There we go. And the further we go down, the more we have to cover with like this lighter color. And I want there to be a highlight like right down the middle. And they're not like, none of them are going to be perfect. Like this one, for example, like the what is this called? Like the, I don't know what this is called, but like the highlight goes over here because that's like the highest point. It's like pointing, like the light catches over there and it reflects it. All right. So there's not a lot of people in the stream right now, which is all right. People can always watch the stream like later. They can still go ahead and re-watch it. I'm just trying to draw like little triangles at this point. All right, that's all right. And now we want to have like the second to darkest color. We want to start drawing. I think it's this one, right? Let me check for this just to be sure. Yeah, this is, no, this is not the second to darkest, I think. This is not the second to darkest. This is the second to darkest. All right. So we want to take the second to darkest color and do the same thing on this side. Create these like little triangles, but it's actually shadow now. And you can, they don't have to be perfect. Like you can just make them go out like that a little bit more, you know. And over here as well. Just continue on making those little darker shadowy areas. And so don't expect too much, by the way, because for all of these I've been using reference. The only reference I'm using for this one is, yeah, is this thing. But the problem is that this thing doesn't look very realistic at all right now. So I don't know what I'm gonna end up with. I'm trying to create something here from scratch. Well, not completely from scratch, but you know what I mean. All right. Just trusting the process at this point. I hope it's gonna work. I really hope so. And I really hope that my phone is not gonna get too hot. It's already really hot. But at least like today isn't such a hot day, because it has been pretty hot lately here, and yeah, it's pretty hard to stream during those days because not only are you going to be sweating a lot, but it's also kind of like your phone, your camera, it just overheats too quickly, too easily. And I'm just trying to do this quick because I want to be able to do this like as fast as I can, because um, repetition means progress. And if you don't have enough reps down, then making progress is going to be pretty hard, you know? And I really hope that I can just trust the process. But we're going to see what's going to emerge from this drawing. All right, and here, just going to do the same thing. Just tiny squares over here. I mean, not squares, triangles. They're going to get smaller and smaller. All right, there we go. That's a Noxel. Hi, welcome, my friend. Welcome. All right, so now you want to take the lightest, the second to lightest gray, which is um, wait, let me check, which is this one. Yeah, and we are going to, oh, I forgot something over here. Yeah, it's really nice having a chat with another fellow YouTuber. Let me see. So I want to make sure that I do like hold a highlight. This is the right color. I just need to make sure because I'm kind of scared of screwing this up on screen, on stream. All right. So I want to have, I want to leave a little bit of white for the highlight over there. And over here as well, I want to leave some white for the highlight, still be visible there. And it's not gonna look awesome. It's not gonna look amazing right off the bat, but I do hope that you will, like, at the end of this drawing you'll be able to see that it's actually scales just like this one. Because honestly, when you're drawing, and even when you're watching the stream, I'm pretty sure you're gonna experience this as well. Um, it's just never gonna look realistic to you. It's never gonna look good to you. But then when you just stop and you just because I basically gave up on this one, and I was like, I just took a step back, and I was looking at it, and I was like, wait a second, I actually see what it's supposed to look like. I can actually tell what it is. So I guess it wasn't as failed as I thought it was. So we're just gonna have to trust the process, and if we do it right, and even if we don't do it exactly right, you know, it can still turn out pretty decent. I'm sure of that. The eye from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Yeah, it is the eye from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and it's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. But again, like it's been some time since I've actually seriously drawn, and this was like one of my first couple of serious sessions where I was sitting down and I was like, okay, I want to get better. I want to practice on making it look more realistic. And honestly, on camera, it might look decent, but in real life, I just see so many little mistakes and so many little things that I should have done differently. But I mean, yeah, I guess you're always going to have that. You're always going to have those moments where you just look at your own art and you're going to think, like, wow, that's pretty bad. Because other people do like it, apparently, and I'm kind of like, all right, all right, you can like it, but I don't, you know? And again, I'm trying to do this as quick as I can, so it's not gonna look very good. And it's also like, there are a lot of little scales, so, like if you just draw a couple like this, it might look better, but if you're gonna do a lot like this, yeah, it's gonna be a little tough. It might not actually look as good as you wanted it to. So yeah, I've been doing these little studies on, especially on skills, because this is like the first one I did, and I wasn't very satisfied. Like the eye and everything looks decent, but the scales around it just look so messy and so like minimalistic. So I decided to do some studies on doing the scales, so that if I ever wanted to draw something like this again, I would be able to draw the scales. And that's basically why I'm doing these study sessions. But I'm also trying to improve in general. So I've seen people do these kinds of studies where they just make like little pellets and they draw on those little pellets. So yeah, who knows? I hope it's gonna help me to improve. But as you guys know, I am on a journey to constantly improve, always. So I think I'm a little perfectionistic. People always tell me that I am. Personally, I don't think I am, but people do tell me that I am. But yeah, now we're gonna take the darkest color and we are gonna fill up the empty space. But we wanna make sure that we pay attention to, like for example, there's gonna be a lot of shadow here, and you can like add a little bit of extra going over some areas, but you want to leave that highlight. I have no idea if it's gonna look good. I'm kind of scared it won't, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see what it's gonna become. Especially if you only have like one scale like colored in yet. And I want to make a little bit of an extra little dark edge over there and over here as well. All right, and I want to have like a little extra darkness like in the middle over there. And it's just supposed to be like a quick little study. It's not supposed to take hours. It's not supposed to take too long. It's just for, you know, to better understand how how it works, like how highlights work and how shadows work. And honestly, this is the first one I'm doing without reference, and I'm already seeing that, yeah, it's not very good, but yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It's not that bad either. Okay, let me read the chat real quick. What language do the Netherlands? Wait, I can't see it because there's a giant heart. Wait, let me let me turn it like that. What language do the Netherlands native to? We speak Dutch. Our language is called Dutch. I could speak some Dutch if you wanted me to. Fluent in Dutch. I'm pretty fluent in Dutch, I would say. I mean, yeah, it's my native language, so I would say I'm pretty fluent. Why? I hope that the stream is in good quality as well, because honestly, I have no idea how everything looks for you guys. Mafelda Castro, welcome. Hello there. Yeah, I really hope it's gonna look decent at the end. But I mean, I still have to add some little details with the white gel pen, so who knows? But it's honestly looking kind of messy, to be honest. For me, it does. All right, let's create an extra little highlight over there. There we go. You can see the chat. Why can you not see the chat? Like, what's happening? Just here in the corner, and I forgot to add some of that shadow over here. Let's just quickly do that to fill this up. There we go, and over here as well. Oh, now you see the chat. All right, good. It was glitched. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with YouTube today, but I couldn't even go live. Like, it took me a couple tries to actually go live. But I mean, here I am now, so it is working now, but it took me some trial and error. All right, we're almost at the point where I can add some tiny little details and refine everything a little bit, because the colors are mostly down. I mean, they're not, again, they're not really colors, but they're grays. Right, it's looking um, kind of cartoonish, I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't look good to me. And that's exactly what I was trying to avoid. But I mean, like, the most important part is realizing what you're doing wrong. And in this point, like at this point, the only thing I can think of is not using reference. Because I've been trying to get better at not using any reference for my drawings. And I've been doing that for years now. But the problem is that I'm not improving. I'm just, you know, doing what I do. Like, I keep creating the same things because those are what's in my head, what I've memorized, and I'm not learning new things. So I think that doing something like this with reference might actually help me a lot. And I should have used reference for this, but I'm not. So that is kind of a, yeah, something that I should try to improve probably. So again, I don't see, I don't see it. It's not looking very good for me. But wait, let me try to add a little something here and there. Just a little bit. I think I'm gonna have to take a step back in a little bit just to see what it looks like from a different perspective, or maybe with like fresh eyes, because if you've been looking at your own art for so long, then eventually you're not going to be able to see or appreciate it as much, because it just looks like a bunch of scribbles, because you memorize where you put all those scribbles down, and that might actually be very tough on your eyes, because you're gonna not see what's on the paper. You're just gonna see what you memorized, which is just a bunch of scribbles. I think it's a little too light, maybe. I think I should go over it, some areas, with, or maybe blend it a little bit with the lightest color that I have used, which is this one. I'm gonna try to blend some areas, because maybe that will help, especially these areas. The shadow is pretty rough. It's pretty dark shadow. And on this marker paper, it actually blends pretty well. Demon KKG. Whoa. Thank you. I wish I could see it from your eyes. but I also should add some shadow in these in between areas, because there's too much white going on there, and like I should take away a little bit of that white. And let's make the highlight a little less extreme over there, because I think that there's too much of that white shining through. But I mean, it's not too bad. All right. Maybe blend this in a little bit better. But I mean, it's not looking too bad, the blends. I draw dinos as well, but I could never imagine drawing someone close to the stuff you draw. Believe me, you are able to draw way better than me. The only thing about drawing that you really have to like get down is repetition, taking time to draw, and actually focusing on what you want to draw. For example, what I'm doing now, I've been noticing that my color drawings look a little cartoonish or um, comic kind of like, you know, and I want to make them look a little bit more realistic. So I'm focusing now on the parts that are keeping me from achieving that realism, which is like the highlights and the shadows right now. And what better way to do it with like than with dinosaur skills, right? Because you're doing a study on the shadows, but you're also learning how to draw better dinosaur skills. And honestly, I will never draw a dinosaur where it's going to be so close to you that it's going to look like this, because then you won't either like you won't ever be able to see the dinosaur. But um, it might be, you know, it might come in handy knowing um, like what the skin texture looks like, so that you now know how to, you know, properly color it and give the kind of detail that suggests that there might be scales, but you're just not able to see them because they're, you know, too tiny. I'm gonna darken this highlighted area everywhere because it's a little too light in my opinion. But maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just right. Who knows? All right. So I want to go back in and I want to make sure that this color is down there properly. And then I want to create some shadows in between the scales on this like lower area of skin. It's looking very cool, very well done. Very well done. Thank you. Thank you. Again, I really hoped that I could see it through your eyes. It doesn't look very good when you're looking at your own art. But again, I think that's something that a lot of artists experience, where they are looking at their own drawings and they're like, I could have done this way better. Why is it not looking the way I'm intended, like the way I've intended it to look? But I guess I'm just experimenting right now. I didn't have any actual expectations when I went into this drawing. All right, so now I need a darker version of this yellow gray, and then I can make some shadows, and not too much. So I'm going to be using this color, which is a little darker. Let me see, YG080. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. It's a little darker, and I'm just going to create a little bit of darkness, like right here. On every single one. I know right means I know right. Seems to be some confusion in the chat. And after this, I'm gonna go in with a white gel pen, and I will be trying to add some additional highlights and add some additional details in the shadowy areas to really make it, you know, look a little better. All right, there we go. So now we're gonna add some additional highlights with this white gel pen. I always just like to do this to like get the ink going. Let me check the chat real quick. I remember his old Godzilla King of the Monsters video. I remember thinking it was a printed image for the first 10 seconds. Well, thank you, but it wasn't that special, to be honest, but thank you. All right, so I'm just adding some, like a little bit of a highlight on this rich line over here, just like, you know, you're seeing everywhere else. Drawing skills kind of reminds me of drawing rocks. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with drawing rocks, but it's a very similar process. It's actually very similar. And there should be a little bit of highlight like near the edge. And now I'm actually starting to see the thing become more 3D because of these little highlights that I'm putting down here. I have no idea. I don't speak your language. Yeah, he's been complaining about that before as well. Like he wished he knew what I was saying, because he doesn't speak English. Well, maybe that's like a good thing because my main language isn't English either, but I had to learn it in order to become like, I don't know, like to like know more about the world around me, because English is like such a widely known language that like I felt like I had to learn it. Like I definitely had to learn English. Maybe a little bit more like of the highlight over here. All right, so now we are at the point where we're gonna add some detail in the shadows. Um, so the way that we're gonna be doing that is like just gently put some gentle lines down and then instantly like wipe them away, because it is going to create a little bit extra detail. But you do have to be careful that you're not waiting too long, because if you're going to be waiting too long, the gel will be, or the ink, it will be dried up, and it's going to be very hard to remove it. But this is just like to create little scratches and little like uneven parts. So that it doesn't look so flat. I hope my phone isn't gonna just die on me because it's getting so hot. So I need to hurry with this stream, with this sketch. I have definitely drawn a lot today, because I did this one today and now I did this one as well, which is pretty good. Like, it's more than I usually draw. But I'm trying to get back into it a little bit more and, you know, like improve on certain aspects, get better, and get some more subscribers maybe. Like, try to make my channel more active and, yeah, maybe even earn a living from YouTube. Who knows? That is definitely my end goal when it comes to like YouTube. All right. And I guess that we are finished with this sketch. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to take a step back later and just look at it, look at it, because it doesn't look too good in my opinion. It just looks very messy and everything. But I guess when I'm, you know, if I'm gonna close this sketchbook and I'm gonna open it again, I'm gonna be like, wow, that actually looks decent. I hope that will be the case. So is there any questions that any of you still have about like something that you're drawing or trying to draw and you're struggling with something? I know you can do it, Dinosaur Drawer. Thank you. Thank you a lot, actually. I hope so. What do you mean it's so good? Thank you, thank you. So yeah, do you guys have anything that you need a little bit of help on to help you to get to the next level of drawing? Like something that you don't understand, or you think that you have to improve on something but you don't know how, like you don't know what you're gonna have to improve on. Because if that's not like, if there's nothing, then I'm gonna be, yeah, I'm gonna have to end my stream because my phone is getting pretty hot. Oh, wait a second. It's not that hot actually. It's all right. What are your preferred drawing materials? Um, I prefer to draw with this is a Staedtler something. Wait, let me think. A Staedtler something pencil, and it's actually my favorite pencil. Like you can um like pull this out as far as you want. It's not recommended to do it like that, but yeah. But you can make the tip as sharp as you want or as dull as you want, depending on what you want, like what kind of art you want to make. And I just use a standard eraser, honestly. And I always like to have, especially when I'm working with markers, I like to have a little white gel pen just to add this little bit of detail. Like for example, in my opinion, before I added the little highlights, it looked pretty flat, but now it's kind of looking three-dimensional because I added some highlights, and I'm actually noticing that I missed an area over here. So yeah. Yeah, if that was everything, then I'm gonna have to end my stream. So yeah, it was an honor, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys in the next video.